Pony Island
is a good game.
No, but in all fairness, this is much like Undertale, but with the added layer of the Stanley Parable, in that the story is not just hinting at breaking the fourth wall, like when Sans has no eyes saying, "That was you, wasn't it?" referring to the player, or when Flowey has the skull face saying things like, "I bet there is someone like that watching right now," talking directly to you, the YouTube viewers. No, Pony Island takes that concept of being self-aware and takes it to the next level, going out of its way to know it's a game and genuinely fuck with the player and make them question just what is real and how much to believe. And like Undertale, I can't say anything about the game or the story. It's truly one of these experiences that has to be played first to get the utmost enjoyment out of it, as to see any part of the game, barring the one pony jumping over the fences trailer, is to ruin the game for yourself. Like when things came around for me, from the little things to the quote-unquote boss battles, every moment had something that was an amazing twist, fucking my mind more and more, to the point where it tricked me several times. Things like this, the only spoiler you're going to get. At one point, and not to spoil where or who in the story, or even the context, I'm changing their name, but at one point, Princess Starlight said, "I just got a message on Steam," and before I could say anything, I was indeed being messaged on Steam by one of my friends, who is on my Steam's friend list, with him asking how I was and stuff. But his message box today had no messages, but here he is, popping up in the game, asking how I was, and what I thought of the game, and saying shit when I told him how much it was messing for me, only for Princess Starlight to ask me something that she told me the answer to. But I was distracted because she was using him as her equalised puppet, getting him to say and do as she pleased, even though he never did. It was just Princess Starlight using some freaky Jedi mind trick shit on me, as she knew, after not paying attention, I was going to get the question wrong, and she knew the answer I was going to give, even before I'd finished typing it. I was not playing or controlling Starlight Glimmer from the buttons I pressed. Starlight Glimmer was controlling me. I am the puppet. I am the plaything. And no matter how clever I thought I was, she was always one step ahead, knowing what her little puppet would do and how to make me look like a pathetic idiot after every question. And it works because of pre-programming. It doesn't matter how clever you are, you still have natural pre-programmed responses. Like when you're thirsty, you are programmed to stop everything you're doing and search out water. When I say something like, let's start with 1 + 1, you immediately said 2. You might not have said it out loud, but even then, for that brief second, you thought the number 2 in your mind, as you thought I was going to go somewhere more with it, due to me saying, let's start with, and then tell you to do something else with the number 2. It's something that even if you try to ignore it, your subconscious has programmed you to respond accordingly. It doesn't matter how special you are, like those fake tests like if you picked 4, your more unique test. No, as it's something you're forcing yourself to try and be unique at, whereas the things in Pony Island are so simple. The simplest thing, like someone saying hello. Regardless of your personality, polite or nasty, you're programmed to respond to a greeting. It doesn't matter if you say hello back or fuck off. You responded, and so you have already lost. And that's why it's hard to say anything about the game or even show anything, as like the Stanley Parable, it's a crime to see it before you play it, as if you know everything that's to come, the game won't be fun or enjoyable, as you know it's coming and the experience is already ruined for you. So don't watch anything and just go check it out, as in terms of a lot of things, they're too good to spoil, bar the one Starlight Glimmers puppet thing that I used out of context to help me explain the game, and the one sentence descriptions on why you should play it. The story has some really funny moments with a great twist. The gameplay, part 1, has a variety of different gameplay styles from 2D to 3D, and that's as much as I'm going to spoil, as some of them come the hell out of nowhere, and when they do, they are an enjoyable surprise. The gameplay, part 2. It's fantastic. Every new set piece, boss, or character that is introduced makes you more invested in finding out what's going on, all the while making you question just who is really in control. Are you in control of the game? As the aforementioned Starlight Glimmer boss does not think so. After all, you're getting her questions wrong. She knows what you're going to say before you do. She is not the one in the game. It's you. You are the puppet, and you do what Starlight says when she's pressing your buttons. The music. One of the only two things I can talk about. I got the soundtrack, and there is only 11 tracks. Technically 10, as one of them is from another game, again, designed to screw with your mind, and all 10 are fantastic. While they're not as memorable as Undertale, barring the two tracks The Machine and Enter Pony, they are all placed at the right areas and bring the right areas to life at the correct moments, with each track pulling you deeper into its dark, twisted world that you may or may not already be a part of. The graphics! Well, even this one's a little bit spoilerish, because there is just more than the two styles that you see when you buy the game and you see the trailer. It's not showing you everything. Yes, there is the questionable Undertale graphics, i.e. the black and white pixel sprite silhouettes, which I have to wonder about, as when seeing all of the later graphics, was this intentional to start off like Pong, Atari 2600, one colour getting progressively better? Or did you add it because Undertale did it, and you want to stand out and ride Undertale's waves? Not that it didn't work, as in your game, the Undertale graphics do work, and you had enough of your own creative stuff to make the game your own. And it's not just Undertale with black and white Freddy sprites or some shit. FNAF remake. But it would be interesting to see if it was their own idea, or if that part was added to draw in the Undertale crowd, which a lot of people might be skeptical about. But anyway, that's really all I want to say and show in this review. So onwards to the final verdicts. However, before that, I want to add a quick note that at this point, recording this line, I have now 100%ed the game with all tickets, all achievements, and the true final boss and true ending. So that will factor in. So now on to the final verdict. So my final verdict for Pony Island, and the first game of 2016 that just kinda came out of nowhere like Undertale did, is an amazing 4 out of 5. It took a lot of skill to pull off what this game did, as at first it does look like nothing more than an Undertale ripoff, but with ponies, due to its starting graphical style, and how the main antagonist talks directly to the player, like Flowey does. It looks set to be nothing more than someone trying to cash in on Toby's masterpiece, only to completely subvert all your expectations by knowing how you will react to the Undertale graphics at the start, and using it knowing how you will react to fuck with you, leaving you somewhat stunned, but amused so that you'll keep playing, only to continue playing and you seeing it pull a full Stanley Parable type deal, pushing its mind-fucking further and further, making you doubt yourself even more. Are you really in control? Or are you the puppet? Are you pressing the buttons out of your own free will? Or because the game is subconsciously telling you to? And combining this Stanley Parable mindfuckery with its darker lying undertones, interesting art styles that continue to change the more you play the game and the more the game goes on, and its little mini-story that has an interesting ending, it makes every moment worth playing and well worth its price. If you have not played it, do so. It's worth the 3 hours of your time. 5 hours for 100% completion, especially for the really amazing mindfuck moments like the out-of-context Starlight Glimmer puppet thing mentioned above. My only real negatives about the game are in the final act, as through the game there are areas where you can learn little pieces of your past, 5 in total, which will help define and help you better understand the true ending. However, there is one question, that is, how did I get here, which is the most important question that never shows up. I had to activate all 3 Caves of Truth several times till it gave me that question as one of my 3 options. And considering this is the most important one, being the game takes place here and you're trying to escape this place, and that question gives context onto why you're here and the reason for your imprisonment, it seems silly that out of the 5 truths, that is the hardest one to make appear. And the other one, again, is with the story, and it is with the final boss. I mean the real final boss, or secret boss after you get all 24 tickets. It's rather cryptic on how to activate his endpoint, as after taking down his final 3rd form, he tells you the game is over and just stands there. You're free to move around him, but he won't talk to you, and any area doesn't move. It's all just kind of set. So I had to look up what to do, and it's pretty BS. You have to look at him from your end point of the battle and moonwalk backwards, all the while looking at him for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes of holding the S key, you will fall off the edge of the area, activating the final cutscene. But again, you have to be looking directly at him as you're moonwalking backwards. I would have appreciated, like, even some kind of hint, like, I don't know, look at me to leave, or moonwalk to freedom. Some kind of hint like that to just give me a clue of what to do in this now blank field would have been nice. But, again, they are 2 minor nitpicks. The first just might be my personal bad RNG, and others got the how did I get here first go. But I did see a few saying that it was rare. And the other one, with the moonwalking backwards, it is the final puzzle, so I guess the final puzzle is allowed to be a little bit cryptic, and all of the other puzzles for the tickets might be a bit cryptic, but are still fair, as there is always a hint, if not several hints in the game, on how to get all 24 tickets. But both of these fall by the wayside for the true ending itself. Like Undertale, it does come out of nowhere. However, while the Omega Flowey thing, where he takes control of your save file, creates his own world, etc., etc., was a shock reveal, this one is more of a, it takes a minute to click, but then when it does, you won't be prepared for it. I fell off the arena, as I mentioned, and I was watching it and waiting for that moment, you know, the ending, only to get something else. And upon clicking it, I realised what the ending was, and meant. And yeah, I did not see that coming, and it's certainly a good metaphor, not only for the position that you are in, but a lot of other things. So, yeah, that's the end of the review now. So, it's good. 4 out of 5. Go check it out. Just check it out now, and don't spoil it for yourself in any way, or you won't like it, or have as much fun with it, as you will have already ruined the fun and the clever surprises for yourself because you'll know they're coming. So yeah, play it now without watching anything, then watch someone play it. But yeah, that's the end. Good stuff. Let's go, because I've just heard people calling me for dinner, and it smells like roast beef. It's gonna be nice.